In the world of social media, some parents have found it easy to put their kids in the spotlight rather than themselves. This happened in the case of ryansworld, the most successful YouTube kid in the world who some are saying is suffering from child slavery. There have been many concerns about how Ryan's parents have treated, controlled, and monetized him. 3-year-old Ryan is no longer 3. He's 12 and a few months away from being a full-blown teenager. Puberty is starting to set in. He now has a deeper voice and started growing a bit of facial hair.
When I grow up, I want to be like an animator. I think it's really fun.
Yet he's still making videos to cater to his core audience of 4 to 8-year-olds. Why is he still reviewing toys for toddlers?
Is there a day where the YouTube channels will be fully animation? Like, Ryan, are you going to keep making YouTube videos, given your interest to be an animator and maybe go behind the camera, like as you get older?
I think I will keep going for a while, yeah.
Ryan has grown as a person, and people now want to hear him speak and how he truly feels. YouTuber John Yushai thought the same and recently hosted an interview with Ryan alongside his parents Loana and Cheyenne Kaji, and it got very controversial. Though the interview had a broadly positive tone, providing advice for aspiring creators and detailing the biggest lessons Ryan learned from his parents, not all viewers were impressed.
You guys have over 10 different YouTube channels, over 80 billion views across them. You have a mobile game with 34 million downloads. I want to break down ryansworld from the business side. How big is the team that runs this?
Yeah, for the production side, we own the studio in Houston. It's called Sunlight Entertainment, and we have full-time employee, about 30 to 40 employees.
While the reason for the interview was for John to speak with Ryan and get his views of things and how he really feels, it was clear that all roads for that were blocked. His parents came prepared to answer all the questions, without leaving any room for Ryan to voice his own opinion.
There's like people creating wealth, and I feel like you guys have created generational wealth. How do you think about the future of that as a family?
Managing this scale of the business, this scale of the finance. So when we first saw the initial success of the YouTube, that was like the first thing we kind of learned, how to manage assets for our kids and then for his future kids.
How much does Ryan get to keep of all this? The answer is 100% for
his TV series.
His TV series, and equity in the ownership as well.
The percentage of the ownership of the company goes to his trust account too.
Wow.
Yeah.
The few questions he was able to answer, most viewers felt like he had been clearly groomed before the interview on what and how to respond, and this has raised some serious concerns.
And Ryan, what's your day-to-day like in the content and the videos that go out?
Well, usually we film on the weekends because that's when I have the most time. Because like other days I have school and then extracurricular activities. So yeah, that's usually when I film.
Some commenters expressed concern for Ryan and the pressure he was under. Many expressed a wish to hear from Ryan himself without the input and potential pressure of his parents' presence. One commenter was blunt in his feelings. Can't wait for the real Ryan interview in 10 years, and not just his parents being interviewed with him present. Others agreed, expressing disappointment that Ryan barely spoke during the 53-minute video. Another commenter had a more dark and cynical view of the matters. I feel like in 20 years, we will see a Netflix doc about how his parents robbed him blind, pushed him for more and more content, and he becomes an addict and loses everything. Some people believe it might be the best time for Ryan to retire and stop playing with toys. Maybe his parents should transcend him into gaming so he can do something new with his teenage self.
You're on track to be a teenage billionaire doing YouTube. But I remember being your age and just changing my mind every day in terms of what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wanted to be an astronaut, then I wanted to be an NBA player. I'm curious, like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be like an animator. I think it's really fun to do because like the drawing and then like at the end you get to see the whole thing and see what you've like worked on the whole time. And like sometimes I can see like the drafts first, and then after I can see like the full thing. And it's really cool to see how it changes over time.
One comment on Instagram states, I just watched the whole interview and barely he talks. He doesn't seem to be very interested in the interview, even fidgeting and playing with the table, his Crocs, and even his water. There's one side that happens that the online thinks but really isn't, that he plays with toys. Almost all of his toys are reposts from the previous years, or gaming videos, or voice acting. He barely plays with toys anymore, but on the other hand, he doesn't really seem interested in this anymore. Let bro rest. For the past 9 years, Ryan Kaji has been the most famous child on the internet, or at least among the most monetizable. His main channel, ryansworld, has more than 37 million subscribers and over 50 billion views. The YouTube family has since launched a couple of other YouTube channels, amongst which are a gaming channel with over 3 million subscribers, a Spanish language channel with 4 million subscribers, and a channel devoted to the animated adventures of his twin sisters Emma and Kate, which has 800,000 subscribers. According to Forbes, Ryan earned $11 million between 2016 and 2017 as the 8th highest paid YouTuber. The following years, in 2018, 2019, and 2020, he was listed as the highest paid YouTuber, earning $22 million, $26 million, and $29.5 million from his videos and product line. Ryan began his YouTube channel in March 2006 at the age of 3, and the growth of the channel has been insane. According to his mother, the need to have the channel came from a question asked by Ryan when he said, "How come I'm not on YouTube when all the other kids are?" There's no one to confirm the authenticity of this question, and we've got to take the parents' words for what it is. The channel, which began with routine visits to the mall to grab a toy for Ryan to unbox, has blown up to the point where Ryan's World now has its own toy line. At the start of the channel in 2015, the parents focused on Ryan, and it seemed like maybe the little boy did have a bit of control and just had fun with his toys. But as time went by, everything got overwhelming for the little boy. In his interview with John Yushey, Ryan's father mentioned that they could shoot about 10 to 20 videos in a week, and for real, this seems too much for a young boy. How many hours of sleep did he get? Was he able to do other things he cared about?
YouTube production, we mainly handle it, and we produce over probably 20 videos each week.
Each week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if he genuinely cared for those toys, did he get to play with them as he liked, or was his playing with them scripted, which in turn makes him overwhelmed and tired? These are serious questions to be asked concerning a little boy who spends a good amount of his life screened and now has bags under his eyes. Before the family got into YouTube, Ryan's parents were just regular people who went about doing different things with their lives. His mother was a high school chemistry teacher, while his father was an engineer. Prior to the parents meeting, Ryan's mother, Loan Kaji, was a convicted criminal who was jailed for shoplifting. On June 28, 2002, Loan, then known as Q Loan T. Win, was arrested for stealing clothing at JCPenney department store in Alameda Mall, Houston. She appeared at Harris County Criminal Court in Houston, where she was ordered to do 40 hours community service as part of a probation order. Loan was found to have not completed her hours, and in June 2003, she was sentenced to 60 days in prison for breaching the probation order, and she served 30 days at Harris County Jail in Houston. The YouTuber's family had a different name and identity before Ryan's fame, which begs the question if they were trying to hide the mother's past. People will always be people, and no matter what transformation anyone does, whatever character is underneath all of the facade, eventually it will shine through. Ryan, who seemed energetic and into the YouTube lifestyle at the beginning of his career, now seemed to not even enjoy it anymore, and it looks like his parents are running the show. Ryan's World videos suggest that he is trapped in some kind of internet hell. These videos include science instructions, personal family vlogs, footage from family trips, and woefully unfunny skits about the parents' office antics. But the heart of the channel is the unboxing toy reviews, where Ryan opens and reacts to new toys. The videos where he opens giant eggs filled with unknown varieties of toys from brands like Transformers and Minions are amongst his most popular videos. The video of him opening a Cars-themed egg gathered over 1 billion views. Ryan so thoroughly conquered the surprise toy egg space that major retailers sell Ryan's World branded eggs today. Ryan doesn't just open eggs, he also test rides kid-sized ATVs, spins Spider-Man webbing toys, and visits kid-friendly vacation spots like Legoland. Kids found Ryan authentic and delightful and often want to mimic his behavior in the videos, which for many parents has proven to be a problem. Ryan's involvement with brands have made many wonder if it's just a case of buying toys to display and unbox, or if he's being used to promote many of these toys. In late 2019, Tina, the nonprofit consumer watchdog group Truth in Advertising, scrutinized Ryan's World toy reviews of organic and sponsored content. Tina believes they don't sufficiently distinguish between the two. Tina accused the Kajis of violating FTC law, saying their sponsored videos have deceived millions of preschoolers who are unable to tell the difference between advertising and organic content. The Tina complaint is the most high-profile criticism of Ryan's World, but it's not alone. The channel's emphasis on novelty-driven consumerism has left reactions from parents ranging from uneasy to annoyed to seething with rage. Parents who feel compelled to purchase these toys for their kids have shared their views on what they believe the issue with Ryan's World is. Becky says, "My 4-year-old son used to be addicted to watching Ryan until I pulled the plug. I gave him this old iPad just to keep him entertained while I was busy. I downloaded this YouTube app for kids. The one show that he kept begging to have was Ryan. And I was like, who's that? I sat down and watched it with him, and I was just appalled because there's just all these new toys that kids get every single show. It never shows him playing with the same toys. It's really excessive. It teaches all this consumerism to kids, and I didn't like it. And what really got me just floored was when Ryan had this shirt with all these company logos. I couldn't believe it. He's only like 8 years old, I think. He's a little child. I couldn't do it to my kid. Like, my kid is really photogenic. He's a very beautiful child, you know? He asked a couple times to have his own videos, and I just wouldn't do that. I just don't know how they sleep at night. It gets me really fired up." Marcus said, "I noticed an uptick in this behavior where every time he goes to a store, he wants something because he's like, oh, there's stuff here. And I see other kids getting a new thing every day all the time. And why can't I have that?" There's no thought to what kind of long-term impact that's going to have on how they live their life. It makes kids think, I see something that I want and everybody else can have it at no cost to them. Why can't I have it at no cost to me? I should be able to have everything I ever want, and you can't live that way. A comment on Reddit also stated, "I used to respect that little dude and his family. The earliest videos were cool, where they focused on giving their son some great imaginary play opportunities. I even respected their hustle for marketing it on YT, but now they're just shills for their own crappy toys. My kids don't know the difference, but I do, and I despise it." Apart from these parents, many psychological experts have also had one or two things to say about Ryan's World, as have other YouTubers. After Ryan's World, previously known as Ryan Toys Review, was the most viewed YouTube channel in the US in 2017 for 20 weeks straight, Felix PewDiePie Kjelberg, who was the most subscribed YouTube channel, began to feel threatened, and who wouldn't? In fact, PewDiePie had many people who spelt out the fact that he was getting overthrown by a 5-year-old, and this made PewDiePie react. Headlines such as 5-year-old threatens to dethrone YouTube king PewDiePie made him feel compelled to post a video response asserting his dominance.
YouTube's biggest star is a 5-year-old that makes, "Wait, The Verge as well? What the fuck is happening?" Are we talking about the same The Verge? The Verge that will take any opportunity they can to shit on me? For the last 18 weeks counting, Ryan Toy Reviews has been the most popular channel on YouTube. The youngest star YouTube has ever seen. Are we celebrating this? Are we celebrating that the fact that this mother is like, you think he's getting any money of this?
In this video, PewDiePie made some interesting claims, such as Ryan's videos being exploitative, and also accused the channel of purchasing views.
There's something off about it. It's kind of like seeing child stars on television, because you know, like, their parents are literally forcing them to do it. And it's just something sad about it. And I can't help but getting the same vibe. You know, obviously I don't know what goes on, but I watch it and I'm like...
Although PewDiePie believes it's just the parents exploiting the young boy, the mother says otherwise. And in an interview about how Ryan always got excited when they had to film, she says, "Every time I tell him we're going to film, he gets so excited. As long as he's loving it and it doesn't disrupt his daily routine, we plan on continuing. But the moment he's not having fun anymore, that's when it will be time to stop." PewDiePie claims that a great share of Ryan's views are coming from bots. He cites the fact that Ryan's videos boast a relatively small number of likes and comments, many of which are a nonsensical jumble.
Have you ever seen a video with 11 million views and 9,000 likes? Please direct me to that video, because it doesn't exist. These are not real people. These are not real views. there's only 1,000 comments.
He also notes that Ryan's most viewed video counts nearly 600 million views, and they should be more well known in popular culture.
Most viewed video has 600 million views. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? What the fuck? Congrats. You paid for views. And that's how you get the title, oh, he's beating PewDiePie.
While PewDiePie and a good number of other people might believe this to be true, some are of the opinion that it cannot be true and explain how children would not be able to make logical comments, and generally they watch the same videos over and over again. Melissa Hunter, the founder and CEO of Family Video Network and star of YouTube's popular Mommy and Gracie show, explains that kids' videos generally have a low engagement rate that hovers around 10%. Melissa notes that viewers cannot comment, like, or subscribe within the YouTube Kids app, and that the nonsensical comments PewDiePie suspects are bots are not evidence of anything other than tiny fingers on tablets and moms' phones trying to comment but being unable to actually spell anything. She explains that kids simply love to watch the same videos over and over again. How many times does someone watch a PewDiePie video? Once, maybe twice if it was really funny. Not dozens of times like a toddler or preschooler will. But one thing Melissa seems to agree on with PewDiePie is about child exploitation. She says, "I agree with some of the points PewDiePie makes. It's something that I am very concerned about in our industry. With the millions of dollars being made, would Ryan really be allowed to retire? Will the channel get a shift of engagement focused on his younger twin sisters, Emma and Kate? We should always keep in mind the issues which have come up from the management of child actors in the past and how they were marginalized by their parents, and how child stardom and fame destroyed their lives."